the difference between my parents and a lot of other people's parents, which is so important in how kids grow up into manhood and become adults, is that my parents came to my parent-teacher meetings. My parents came and coordinated events and planned events with the school, and went on the field trips and stuff, as well as going to my soccer games. I played so many sports competitively. I played competitive rugby. I played competitive lacrosse. I played competitive basketball. I played competitive baseball. I played competitive football, and they were always there through every step of the way. They made sure that I had the academics popping, but at the same time, I can't really put all that on my parents, because my parents never helped me with my homework in middle school or in high school. And if I asked them to do so, then they would have jumped up and helped me and paid for a tutor, did anything that they could to help me succeed in the classroom. I just never really needed them. And, I finished high school with my whatever GPA and got into this pretty good school without their help. But I mean, I know that I always had them, and they always kind of like gave me the support. I just never used them because I had that self-motivation, and of course I'm Mr. Pro-Black, so I had to rep for my race also, and be in those advanced placement classes in high school with all the white kids to show them that I'm better than you because I can do everything you're doing when society wants to believe that I can't. And anyway, the thing is that a lot of these brothers who end up playing in NFL or whatever, these dudes are, they made it out of the hood, a lot of them. And I know a lot of great athletes, like from high school and from middle school, whether from the nicer parts of Denver or the not so nice parts of Denver. And some of these guys are amazing athletes. They will jump over me, and they tackle better than I can, and they can run faster than I can, and they're just amazing athletes. But they will never get a chance to play for, a team like Syracuse, a D1 school, because they don't have the grades. Colleges, the whole education is about money. I mean, they don't really care. They want my money. They want that 50 grand every year. And they're not going to stick out their necks for these young brothers when they're just going to be ineligible, because like if you have whatever, I don't know what the college rules are, but if you have like 2 Fs or you don't, I think in college it's not, it's actually if you like don't have enough credits for the semester, like if you don't get whatever 10 credits or 12 credits for the semester, then you're not eligible to play for the next season. So you have to sit out a number of games, or you might have to sit out the whole season. They will never get a chance to be where I'm at. I wasn't, Mr. All-American football player or track star in high school, because I did play a lot of sports competitively in high school. But I was always grinding with my schoolwork, so I have a sure bet. I have a sure bet of making money now. I mean, I'm an information technology major, and that industry is booming. That major has the highest starting salary at my school, which is $53,000. 100% of the graduates in 2010 at Syracuse University that were information technology majors are either employed or are in grad school. 100%. 100%. Nobody's unemployed. Can you believe? No, 100%. Everybody's in grad school or they're employed. So, I mean, I have a sure bet of making money because, I'm on my grind of doing my studies, and, I'm getting this good GPA so I can get into a good grad school or whatever. Yeah, I get the point. So, the thing is that the school will not put up money for these guys if they're not going to help them make money, because let's be honest, the NCAA is really just like a big slave plantation where they get these young brothers, and 90% of these guys on the team are black except for the kicker and the punter and the quarterback, or maybe the center is usually white guys. So they're not going to pay for these guys to go get their educations because, one, a lot of these guys, they'd have like some 2.0 GPA in high school ever, then that's going to translate to probably failing out of college, because college is of course a lot harder, and also because they know that a lot of these dudes, they don't even want like the education, because most of these dudes, they don't really look at college like, I'm going to go play college football as a tool. I'm not using football as a tool to have a better life. I'm looking at football as my life, as a way to make a living. But for example, like, you know, the whole Cam Newton scandal that just passed. Cam Newton had every right to try to get money from, you know, wherever Mississippi State he was trying to go, or even, you know, I don't really think it was Cam Newton. You know, there's something fishy. They said it was his father. I know all the details. I just don't feel like going into it because it was on ESPN day in and day out. So I do know all the details. But he had every right to try to go get money because he is putting his body on the line for the schools and for, you know, because these schools like Texas, they just signed like some, you know, $300 million contract with ESPN to cover their events. You know, and ESPN, they're only getting the rights to like one college football game and like one basketball game. So all those other sports are like, you know, the bullshit sports that people don't really care about, like volleyball and all that other shit. But that's one way that they're hurt, is because the NCAA, they set really low standards for these athletes. You know, you don't have to have that good of grades to stay eligible. You just have to have a few credits. And even I know some brothers, incredible athletes, and their schools, their coaches will ask them to change their majors. I know a guy, he plays strong safety. They transferred they made him switch his major to art just so he could not fail out of college. All these brothers are starting at junior colleges and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. School is school, but you can do so much more. For one, if you are trying to make it to the NFL or the NBA, you're gonna get so much more exposure if you're paying for a D1 school. And plus, if you don't make it to the NBA, wouldn't you rather have a degree from Syracuse than, you know, Coach High's junior college? Of course you would. So and also these black men, you know, I was looking at some of the numbers earlier, and their graduation rates are usually 30 to 40% lower than that of the white athletes on the same team or in other sports, like, you know, white boys who play, you know, rowing. That's like they row the boats, and, you know, they get scholarships for that, and golf and lacrosse and all the other sports. And even, you know, we have a lot of white football players who are killing it, you know, 3.4, 3.5 GPAs, because they understand that they may not make it to the NFL. They understand that they could get hurt, but that's just the wisdom and the generational, you know, intelligence that white people have, that black people for some reason can never get through the heads, that it's cool to get good grades and it's cool to get an education. So a lot of these guys will play, you know, they'll play a couple years in college, and then they'll go to 3 years in college, whatever. There's so many of the NFL guys who don't actually get their degrees, because if you have a good season in 09, but you don't have a good season in 10, or you get hurt in 2010, then your stock goes down. So you can't get as good of a contract with your team that drafts you in the NFL draft or the NBA draft. So a lot of these guys, they have to play just until they think that they're good enough to get paid, you know, whatever, $4 million their first year, and get some nice contract with, you know, $12 million guaranteed over a few years, whatever. You know, like, these guys get big time contracts. We have a lot of these guys who they go to the NFL. The average time in the NFL is 2.5 to 3 years. I don't know what the NBA one is. I haven't looked it up, but I'm sure it's pretty short too. So 2.5 years. I mean, you make $10 million in that time, but, you know, all these niggas, of course, they got to go buy their homeboys some cars, and they got to go to they got to buy their mom a house, and, you know, they do all this crap. And guess what? At the end of the day, these Negroes are just as broke as when they went into the NFL. You just as broke, nigga. Because they have no financial literacy. And when you hire that Jewish lawyer, like a lot of these guys, or that agent, these niggas are looking out for themselves, as would pretty much anybody. I mean, maybe if there was a black, like, agency firm, or a black, you know, accounting firm, whatever, to help these brothers to look out for their best interest. Because, I mean, I would never slap a black person in the back, because I look at them as my brother. Like, you know, we get help each other out. I talked about in the last video, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. I got you. You know, you my brother. I got you. Okay, so as far as solutions go for this issue, for parents, you gotta tell your young children that they need to stay in school and get good grades. And it's not telling them just ain't enough, because I mean, if you could tell black men something, then there wouldn't be so many of us like in jail and shit. Because niggas just keeps going back and forth in jail. Like, we're hard headed as fuck. So you gotta tell these dudes like, this year you're not playing football. Next year I'm not gonna sign the parent forms. You're not gonna be playing football. I'm gonna go talk to the coach and tell them that you can't play unless you have a 3.0, which is low standards. You know, it should be a 3.5. But anyway, parents, you have to step in and make sure that your brother, that your children don't do this to themselves, because they will end up going down this road. You're making, you know, $20 million a year, but at the same time, your lifestyle, you're spending that $20 million a year too, because when these guys, they finally get that lottery ticket to go play in the NFL, then they're spending money like they're blowing what I think on big meats. These niggas are blowing money fast. So, you know, their mortgages are way too much for them to handle. Plus, they don't understand what it means to be a lease. They don't understand because they didn't take business in college like I am. You know, they don't understand how this shit works. They don't have parents who are accountants like I have parents who, you know, a parent who is an accountant. Like, they don't understand these things. And our dad, of course, is going to look out for my best interest. The thing is that there are some exceptions, like my brother Myron Roll. Myron Roll, he's a phenomenal player. He was the shit. He was a safety for Florida State University. And this brother, man, I wish I would have looked it up before I started making a video, but you guys will get the point, and half y'all niggas probably want to look it up anyway. But Myron Roll is the shit. He's a super Negro. And he decided not to go into the NFL when he could have been drafted very highly in the draft, to go study at Oxford, one of the top universities in the world, to study like neurosurgery or something. Like, nigga, neurosurgery? What? This brother is killing it, killing the motherfucking game. But you know, the thing is that the NFL and the NBA, they don't give a fuck about brothers. They don't give a fuck about these brothers. They even added 2 more games to the NFL schedule because they want to make more money off of these slaves, off of these $40 million slaves. And the players have no players union or nobody to stick up for them or anything like that. So therefore, they won't be able to change it. You know, the league says we want to add 5 more games, and what are they supposed to do? Say no? Go on strike? No. Because, like I said, they want that lottery ticket. And once they get it, they worked hard. Not saying that these brothers haven't worked hard, because they have. They've spent hours and hours in the weight room, hours and hours on the field. I can't express even the commitment I had to give to my high school football team. So imagine how it would be when I got to college, and like how little time would I have to study. But even the white boys are getting it done. So I'm confident I would get it done, because, you know, I'm a super Negro. Mike Vick, Allen Iverson, Delonte West, Gilbert Arenas. All of these guys run our tests. When all these guys get in trouble, it's like, what the fuck did you expect from these hood niggas? Look at them. They're thugs. Look at all their tattoos. Look at the way they speak. Can't even articulate. So we just ain't have a good game this time, but we gonna get them next time. Like, come on. Tell these brothers not to look up to athletes. It's on us. If you don't have anybody in your community, which I know is a lie, at least throw Barack Obama out there. Tell these niggas to be Barack Obama. Here's my last point. This is the Sheik Luch song. It's called "Excuse Me, Buddy." He's D-Block. You know, I fuck with D-Block. I'm just an AR. You own label. I brought you 10 groups, but I'm not stable. I made you so rich. I get nice car. I still pay rent. You get butt lard. Mama, I'm so strong. She works so hard, cleaning your house, kids, and so on. We don't break down. We just get smarter. It's just fucked up because we work harder. And you know that I let you guys imagine how that relates to these athletes, because these brothers are actually in ways working harder than these sports team owners. You know, everybody calls these athletes overpaid, but if somebody ever says that any athlete is overpaid, tell them to shut the fuck up, because they're not talking about the billions of dollars that these team owners are making. Most of these teams in the NFL and the NBA wouldn't sell for less than $750 million. And even if you want to buy a team, you have to go through the players. So you have to go through the NBA the system, which is all politics. So even if you want to own a team, but a lot of these brothers, what these crackers will do is they'll have a team and they'll give it to their son. So they'll be like, here, son, take this NBA team, and then they'll go buy like a MLB team, because they don't like when these guys own more than one team. You know, it's some real fucked up shit. But whatever. You like the message? Subscribe to the page. I'm out. Peace.